Hello, and thank you so much for tuning in. I so value your time and your energy, and it is my absolute pleasure to connect with you. I've really enjoyed this week, and we're going to dive right in and just kind of continue with the learnings. And I also want to summarize some of the things that we went through this week and also let you know that if you haven't caught up with the 4 days of training, because there's over 3 hours worth of goodness that I shared this week with you, no worries at all. You have the replays that you can go back and enjoy and do it in your own time. So there is no race. I don't want anyone feeling behind the eight ball or like they're just not caught up, because you can do it in your own time and watch those replays and really take advantage of the support principles that I provided each and every day for you to really optimize your learnings. Okay, so deal, no overwhelm here. That was really a big part of my intention when I started this Bring All of You to Your Biz Now challenge, was that you'd be able to get a lot of value in bite-sized pieces. And I know my bite sizes, I'm Italian, so my bite sizes are a little bit bigger than maybe a nibble. And that's what I like to do, is over deliver. And I hope that you have enjoyed this series. Good morning, my friend. Good morning, Sharon. It's so awesome to see you. So awesome to connect. I know that you have tomorrow or yesterday to catch up on, and that replay is in there. So to that point, if you've missed any of the trainings, just go back in and watch them in your own leisure and take it in your day by day stride. Because, like I always say, little by little, day by day, that's how we get momentum. That's how we build these micro habits that really amount to something big at the end of the week, month, year. You really start to see these micro habits add up. So I want you to give yourself a pat on the back, because you are doing so much better than you think that you are, and you are showing up for yourself. And all we need to compare to is who we were yesterday. That's it. Not our friend, our neighbor, the expert on Instagram. It's, am I better today than I was yesterday? And if you can keep answering yes to that, my friend, you are winning. And just the fact that you're here watching this today shows me that you are dedicated to showing up for yourself and having a bigger impact in the world. So thank you so, so much for being here. All right, let's dive in. I want to recap some of the amazing learnings that we talked about this week. Day one was all about busting through fear and procrastination now. And the interesting thing is, when I was thinking about putting together this content, the word now just kept coming up for me. So bring all of your business, all of yourself to your business now. And then with every title, when I was thinking about it, now just kept kind of resonating through. And I think that that's so very interesting, because this year we could very easily take a pause. Everything is on pause, right? There are so many things that we have been able to, and sometimes forced to, put on a back seat and think about it tomorrow, or I'll do it tomorrow. And to me, I felt, wow, how are we going to make strides? How are we going to continue to grow and develop if we don't attend to it now? So you'll notice that every single title this week has had now in it, because I do feel a sense of urgency. And I do also feel that if we allow this, like, kind of, I don't want to call it laziness, I don't really want to call it softness, but if we allow this kind of relaxed backseat approach, we're not going to be hitting the goals that we want, and we're not going to be inspiring the people that we want. So to me, all we have is our present moment. All we have is the now, and leaning into that is going to really serve us. And I'm also a huge fan of sparking inspiration in other people, because when they see you do it, they're going to go, wow, if she can do it, I can do it. And that's the kind of mission that I'm on, is to spread these positive ripple effects, to be a promoter of good vibes, and to lessen and dampen down the chaos and controversy that's going on a global level. I believe that we have the power collectively to make change. And that change starts by pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone. So to me, business is a spiritual adventure. It's an opportunity to dig deep, to shed these limiting layers of dross that we have on our brilliant, brilliant soul, and to really commit to ourselves that we're going to stand up and stand in our power so we can help other people. So I was Googling today, how many species are there in the world, in the planet in 2020? And the number that stuck in my head was like 8 million or 8.9 million. And I was really surprised because I saw that Science Daily actually estimates that there are 15 million species in the planet, and some are not known yet. And I really was thinking about that today, and I was thinking, like, for anybody that's struggling with confidence, of thinking about, like, are they doing the right thing? Is it really their time? Is there somebody that could be delivering their message, product, or service better than them? This is what I really want you to be so confident in, and to really broaden your perspective of who you are, and your birthright, really. Not only your birthright for abundance, but your birthright for who you were meant to be. I got so inspired by listening to the comments that were pouring in this week. And so many of them were connected to their desire to be their highest self, their faith that God had a higher reason for them showing up and being here and creating and serving. It was really beautiful. Like, actually, I don't ever remember seeing such a flood of comments that were so in alignment to what I believe, that business is a spiritual endeavor, and that in order to really fulfill our purpose, to be connected to our identity and our highest self and the universe or God's exact purpose for us. I don't think I've ever seen that. And so it really lit me up, because that is what I want to personally lean into more and more. And that's what I really want to help be your advisor and mentor in. How can you be spiritual and profitable at the same time? How can you integrate those two things so it's not a 9 to 5 black and white lifestyle in your career world, and then showing up in color and integrating your spirituality and your core values when the time clock is not on. And I lived like that for a long time because I didn't feel it was safe to bring all of me to myself. I didn't feel it was safe to bring all of the pieces and the facets of my being to my work. And so I feel now, especially after this global pandemic, it is almost like a requirement for us. To me, I don't feel like I can kind of sit in the back seat anymore, but it's an opportunity to really step up and step into my full self, and also take advantage of the wave of the feminine rising, which is happening right now just in our collective consciousness and in the atmosphere, in where we are in the yugas, right? In the time-space reality that we're occupying right now, there is a feminine rising. And so why not ride the wave together so we can actually step into that and feel supported? And like I've always said, really make that women supporting women our reality, not a trendy hashtag, but our reality. So back to the species, what I was feeling was like, man, our human existence, if there are 9 to 15 million, maybe 9 million discovered, 15 million out there that we haven't fully known yet of species on the planet, and our human body, in our human incarnation, we are the highest rung of evolution that we know of. Think about that for a minute. We are the highest rung of the evolution. There's a lot of amazement in that statement, and it is true reality. And I also feel that there is a responsibility in that statement as well, because we have the differentiation between right and wrong that the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom are not in the same privy, right? As human beings, we are really under that law of karma. And so we're under that right and wrong and conscious and unconscious. And I feel that as light workers, it's our responsibility and duty to spread those good vibes, to bring the consciousness up, and to have a ripple effect of peace. And so I'm super, super excited to do this through the lens of business, because I feel that in my experience, I've been a daily meditator for 30 years. And yes, there has been challenges and awakenings through that. But let me tell you, my friend, honestly, right from my heart, there has never been anything that has challenged me as much as being an entrepreneur. This is where my greatest personal development comes from. It is not necessarily when my eyes are closed in silence, although that cannot be undervalued, but it is showing up. It is standing here in front of you, sharing my message and taking those brave, courageous steps on a daily basis and doing it not only for 1 year, but for almost 3 decades, right? Almost 30 years of being a full-time entrepreneur. So what that means is I can bring to the table something very unique because I've lived this, right? This is my life. Like many of you have heard me say that business is in my DNA, and I fully, fully believe that. So this is kind of in my blood. And one of the things I'm excited to talk to you about is a new group coaching program that I developed called Thrive Tribe. And it's an opportunity for us to take these learnings deeper and for you to benefit from almost 30 years of my entrepreneurial experience. But before we go into that, I want to read the comments. Oh, yay. Thank you. Awesome. Today's message is so beautiful. Agreed. Awesome, ladies. Thank you so much for being here. And really, this is what it's about, right? It's about connecting. And it's about sharing from our heart. And it's also about not being afraid to bring all of us to our business now, right? Because I know if you're watching this that you journal. I know the ladies on here journal in a big way. You actually commune with your soul and with your community. And whether that's church for some people or whether that is more of an intimate meditation practice for others, I know that if you're watching this, that you have a routine where you tap in to yourself on a daily basis. And it's something that you're committed to. It's something I'm committed to as well. And I think that that's what makes our businesses so unique, because it's not just about commerce, right? Commerce, and I have done this exercise with many clients, and a couple of the ladies on the call here I've done this exercise with. When we really look deep into our core values, money is rarely in the top of that list. So when I do our sacred feelings and our core value exercises with people, we usually brainstorm about 7 to 10 things of what we're committed to and what lights us up and what's going to be top of mind and what we're going to weave into our business on a daily basis. And let me tell you, it is not money at the top. And that's fine. And it's beautiful. And it's usually about connection. And it's usually about community. And it's usually about spirituality. And it's usually about love, right? And that is awesome. Those are my peeps. And that's what I really want to help you bring to the surface of your business. If you're at a point where you're like, that sounds great, but I don't know the how, then stick around, all right? Because we're going to talk a lot about the how. But I wanted to recap a little bit about our week together, starting with day 1, about busting through fear and procrastination. So we talked about why it was important to go all in. We also talked about the importance of shining light on things that were limiting us. Most of the time, it's mindset and beliefs that are holding us back. So in that day, we really dove into the opportunity of asking ourselves, why now? And people's reasons were very different. In fact, one that really struck me was someone in our group that shared that her mother had passed away when she was 65 and that she was 50. And that she felt this feeling of, oh my gosh, I have 15 more years in her mind, right? Based on her reality to really show up and lean into my purpose for being here. That was really, really powerful. Your why is something that is extremely personal, but it's something that when we tap into our why, it makes this core process so much more clear because it's like, oh my gosh, yes, this is what it is for me. And why is now important, right? And it could be for a variety of different reasons, but we clarified that in day one. You can always go back to that support printable and catch up and do the exercise because it is extremely powerful. All right, in day two, we talked about sharing our story so that we can build our tribe. And we talked about the importance and the beauty and the creativity of sharing story. And that's how we learn. That's how we learn best. And it's something that has happened generation after generation. And it's really interesting because, when I work with my clients, sometimes it's very easy for them when they're creating something like a lead magnet or a PDF or even a blog post to just kind of spill out and share the facts and share the details. And what makes a really interesting entrepreneur slash successful slash having a devoted fan base is when you can actually share a story that is unique to you, because that's what makes it juicy. Because we can Google anything, but your energy and your story is actually what's going to separate you from the crowded marketplace. And so we talked on day two about how to craft story and how to use a very simple but effective 3-part process when you're crafting your story, which, as a recap, it was sharing your struggle, talking about how you did your search, like what did you do once you were struggling? What did you do? What was the search? And then the solution, how you've actually found a solution and now you're weaving it into your business now to help other people not fall into those pitfalls. And so you can kind of shine the light because you've been there, done that, and you can help them go further faster. That's what story is really about. And the beauty is, once you have that simple structure, you can share it on podcasts. It can be woven in your signature story. It can be something that is your signature talk if you're somebody that wants to be on the big stage. So it's a really powerful day to just continue to hone down and craft that story. And I recommended doing a long form version and then a snippet version, right? When we don't have that much time, but we still want to pack a punch in how we communicate. So we worked on that together in day two. In day three, we talked about increasing our online visibility now, because really we as we mentioned that the world has changed and we don't do as many things that we used to be able to do in person. And so the global interwebs is our highway of communication and connection now. So really embracing that fact and realizing that if you want to take your business from being small or being a professional hobbyist to your sustainable lifeline, it's really the lifeblood of your business, we have to step out and increase our visibility. So I gave you a 4-part structure of incorporating in the what, the why, the how, and the call to action, so you could really embrace stepping into being visible online. We also had some mindset stuff on that day. So we talked about what was holding us back. So definitely dive in and rewatch that training, watch it or rewatch it, and go through your notes to make sure that you're really just on the same page, really, because the old ways of doing things don't work anymore, and they won't work anymore because it is a new time, right? And we're all redefining what that means in our life and our business. The cool part is you can customize it to what feels good to you, but we have to take action and we have to show up. So there's some non-negotiables, right? And then there's some flexibilities. So I'm a lover of the both and philosophy. So it's not an either or. It's really a both and. So how do we show up in a way that's in alignment to us, but also how do we acknowledge and respect some non-negotiables, which is to utilize our online platform as really our current stage, because this is the stage of reality, right? This is where we are right now. It's amazing. And the cool part is, if you shift thinking about this as a get to versus a got to, let me tell you, my friends, that small verbiage nuance has helped me overcome so much in my life and business. When I have shifted from, I've got to do social media, I've got to show up, I've got to write the blog, I've got to do the podcast, I've got to whatever, fill in the blank, take my vitamins, right? Whatever it is, when I literally shift into I get to, everything changes. Everything changes. And then all of a sudden we can tap into a cascade of gratitude, right? A rampage of gratitude. I get to show up and share my message for free in front of billions of people any day I want by clicking that go live button. I can choose any social media platform I want and share my message, whether it's a static form, whether it's a carousel post on Instagram, or whether it's going live or even doing an interview on Zoom, right? We get to do these things, and more often than not, it's for free, and it's touching people around the world and having a global impact that we honestly never had years ago. When I had my confection company, we never had that. Like when I started in the early 90s, we didn't have this type of technology. It was all old school stuff. So when you shift that, I get to, right? I get to write that blog post. I get to interview the most fabulous, amazing female entrepreneurs from around the world and publish on a weekly basis with a click of a button, and reach people from around the world and get comments from people that said, I needed to hear this message today. Thank you so much for being here because I was stuck and I needed this and I needed you. Touches my heart, really. Yes, rampage of gratitude. Agreed. So this is exciting stuff. And it's real, and it's something that we can step in and take advantage of right now, my friends. Yesterday, which was day 4, we talked about a sales as service approach so that we can actually build attraction marketing. So there isn't this push-pull, but people want to be around people that they like and that they admire. And we talked about making a list of pros and cons of slimy, slippery sales tactics that we're going to avoid, and sales processes, and more than a process, a mentality of sales as service, and leaning into the things that make us feel good when it comes to sharing our products and our services, and knowing that this is all about an offering, because sales is truly about the attraction. I think of it as like magnets. Here's a magnet over here, and this magnet has a situation or a challenge, and here's this magnet over here, and this magnet has a solution to the problem. When those come in alignment and it's natural, there's no forcing. You don't have to force two magnets to come together. This is how I view attraction marketing, is you are aware of the problem and you are confident that you can solve it. And when those two things come together, it's like two flames putting together, like begets like. It's the natural process that they're going to come together, right? And it's an exciting process because they're looking for one another. And that's how we talked about viewing our products and services. There are people waiting for you to help them solve their problem. There are people in your tribe attracted to your message and your marketing because they know that you're speaking their language and they want more of that. So when we step into sales as service approach, this changes everything that we previously had, whether it was a money mindset block, whether it was feeling like I don't know how to self-promote myself, or I don't really want to be pushy. I really hope that I gave you some tools and resources to look at that through a different lens. So one of the things in that that we talked about yesterday was really adopting 3 different ways to help you approach this mindset. One is to get your bases covered so you have that high attention low attachment when it comes to your pitching, when it comes to you doing a launch. Number 2 in that 3-step process was to deeply understand your ideal target audience, the people you want to serve, your dream clients, however you relate to the people in your tribe, truly understanding them first so that you know how to create the solution for their problem. That is so, so crucial. Like, we could go into that piece alone for like a month. No joke. And number 3, we talked about how to diversify your offerings so you can have a greater impact by using a 3-tiered offering system, the low, medium, and high ticket tier system. So again, you have all of that information in your support printable. In fact, I reviewed the support printable. So I printed myself out this support printable, and there's 15 pages, my friends. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I know I promised to keep this kind of in a nutshell so you'd have bite-sized, learnings. And I'm sorry because I over-delivered, but that's what I do. So you've got 15 pages of a support printable and 3 hours of training to really dive in. And here's the thing. I over-deliver in everything that I do in my life because, as you know, how we do one thing in our life is how we do everything in our life. And so the cool part is I don't want this party to stop. I want to keep going with you, and I hope you want to keep going with me. I hope that you found value in this week's opportunity to dive deep with one another. And if you did, what I have next for you is my group coaching program called Thrive Tribe. And Thrive Tribe is something that I developed so we could continue this conversation in a deep and meaningful way and go deeper with some of the topics that we talked about here, like sales and marketing, like showing up in our full best, highest self in soul alignment, and a couple other things that I'm going to dive into. Oh, wow. Yeah, great. Awesome, Sharon. Cool. So this 12-week group coaching program starts Monday, November 9th. So it is truly right around the corner. It is something where we're going to be together for 12 weeks on a consecutive basis. So we're going to show up together every single week and dive into these business building topics, but with the support of a like-minded family. So I'm keeping it extremely small. It is capped off at 10 people, and really, and I'm sure you've gotten to know some of the lovely ladies in the Women Developing Brilliance group. They're amazing. And they're people just like you and me. And that's the cool part. When you are committed to showing up and bringing all of you to your business, you attract your right audience. Like, that's the cool thing. That's the part, like, this time in this round of sharing, like last year I did a Clarify and Fly challenge, and it was awesome and I enjoyed it. But I really didn't bring all of me to that challenge. I stayed pretty linear and logistical, which you got a lot of step-by-step structures. Like, I'm a Taurus. I like to have like a place for everything and everything in its place. So I will never probably get rid of my structures. And for my clients, they know me. I'm a Google Drive lover. And that's one thing that I provide is a lot of organization to all of this information so it doesn't become overwhelming. However, what I feel and what I wanted to do this time was bring the spiritual aspect of who I am, which is a big part of my world, my life, my existence. And what happened is I attracted people that appreciate that and that align with that as well. So that has been so very exciting, and I want to help you do the same so you can attract your divine right clients. And that's what we're going to be working on in Thrive Tribe. So you can ask me any questions here that you have. Hi, Debbie. Good to see you, and thanks for being here. So yeah, ask me any questions that you have when I give you a few more details about Thrive Tribe, and then we'll just have a jam session. So here are some of the logistical things. We're going to be meeting weekly for 12 weeks, so that's 3 full months in live sessions via Zoom, so it's very private. There is going to be time in those calls to have deeper conversations in 3 main categories. So the first one is going to be a mindset category. As you've seen with these daily activities so many times, and really just when I polled the audience, it's 80-20. 80% of what's holding us back is mindset, 20% tends to be skill set. So we're going to be taking a full week out of the month to really go through some powerful exercises that you're going to see some immediate turnarounds. They have to do with neuro-linguistic programming, emotional freedom techniques, things that really have to do with my certification of being a mindset coach. We're going to be bringing that in. I've never done this before in a group program. So you're in for a treat, because this is where the real kind of root of the situation lies. And so you're going to be having visualization scripts. You're going to be having affirmation guidance. You're going to be knowing about these tools and techniques that go under the hood that pull out the weeds from the root so they don't keep reappearing like Groundhog Day. The second category that we're going to be focusing on is marketing. Because like we talked about in, I think it was day 3 on how to increase your online visibility, marketing is how people get to know us. So I'm going to be teaching you very tangible techniques on how to build the know, like, and trust factors, how to market yourself in a way that feels good to you and around your personality. This is not about adopting someone else's framework, because that works great for someone else. But I'm going to teach you ways to customize this for who you are. Because I know for a fact, and some of the people that I work with, they have very interesting and unique dynamics. Whether it is they're struggling from a disease, that's something that's very real, or fibromyalgia, or chronic fatigue, or depression. Like, there are real emotional things that are in our life that can limit how many hours we put into our day. That is the reality. So I'm going to help you market in a way that makes sense for the time and energy that you have. And if you are somebody that struggles with depression or energy, we're going to learn how to harness that so you can ride the wave when you have those high energetic moments. And that's a big piece of this, because we have to build our business around our life, not the other way around. And we have to be so honest with ourselves that maybe COVID has gotten you down. Maybe you don't have the energy or the clarity that you used to have, or maybe it's something that you're like, man, I know it's in there, but I can't find it. We're going to find it together. We're going to pull that out so you feel 100% supported and ready to hit the ground running, and that you never feel alone. That's why I wanted to do a group coaching program. I have not offered a group coaching program since last April, so it has been well over a year and a half, and that is because my one-on-one client roster has been full. I've had a full one-on-one client roster for 2 years. And so I just didn't have the space to do that. And when I sat with myself in the summer, when we were all kind of going through this global pandemic and the pause, I really knew in my heart that I had to bring back the group coaching program. 1, the investment is so much lower than working with me on a one-on-one. And 2, there is a power in collective consciousness, and I wanted to bring about community. So there wasn't just one support. Like, I'm very much an ally for my clients, but I really felt in this time that we have to band together as ambitious female solopreneurs that are on a mission to share our light and have an impact. We're going to spark one another. We're going to inspire one another, because everyone sees the world through their own lens. And so bringing together all of our positive paradigms is going to help propel us forward in such a dynamic way that we can't do alone, and we can't necessarily do on a one-on-one. So there is power in the group, and I really felt that when I tuned into it, and that's why I wanted to create Thrive Tribe now with the mindset piece that I've never offered before. The third category that we're going to focus on is money, because money is a part of commerce. Money is a part of how we energetically exchange value to service, right? And so we talked a little bit about that with the sales as service consciousness approach, but this is going to be a dedicated category that we're going to work on together in our 3 months. And we're going to talk about how to dissolve money mindsets. We're going to talk about getting to the root of some of the worthiness issues when we're afraid of success, afraid of failure, and afraid to price ourselves for what we're really worth. We're going to bust out of that time for money paradigm that no longer serves us anymore. And in order to get into this sustainable consciousness. That's what it is. It's a sustainable consciousness. We have to lean into money being the thing that we exchange, and how to price our offerings, how to really dig into that 3-tier system that I shared with you, and what pricing makes sense for you and your audience so you can convert. So you can see that what I shared with you this week was just a little bit of a snippet of what we're going to dive deep in our 12 weeks together. The fourth week is going to be open for hot seats. So you're going to have an opportunity to get that one-on-one, intimate, customized, personal coaching experience with me in the hot seat opportunity. So the cool part is every single call is going to have space for Q&A. I'm a huge questioner. I always have been. And if you remember when I shared my story with you on day 2, it was really talking about how I always had this curious mind of why, what, how, right? Like I was always wondering. And even in some of my certification classes, it's like, who has a question? Oh, there's Casey again. Because that's how I understand. That's how I learn things. I learn things by going, oh, okay, well, what if you did it this way? So I always leave space for Q&A, and it is a safe, sacred space so you can ask a question and not feel like intimidated no matter where you are in the journey, to really say, hey, why, how, what if, right? Because that is how we truly implement the learnings. I'm all about taking action and providing you the support principles and frameworks all along the way so it's very clear for you. And one of the reasons that I am actually gifting anybody that enrolls in Thrive Tribe now my 7-module business building course, Thrive Business Thrive, is because I wanted to provide the structure, support principles, and framework in every aspect of building a business, whether it is how to draft an about page, how to write a sales page that converts, how to start a podcast, how to optimize a blog. Anything that you can think of from the very beginning things of how to run a business, like should I be a sole proprietor or an LLC or an S Corp, to what accounting software I should use. Like literally, I tried to go back through and pick my own brain of what do I wish I knew when I started out in business. And then I started creating modules for you. And I broke them into 7 business building modules, starting from startup phase all the way to how do I have an effective enrollment call so I can bring more people into my high ticket services. You're going to get all of my secrets. I hold nothing back. And if this week is any example of how I truly try to be here to break things down in a very sensible way for you, you're going to experience that when you go through my Thrive Business Thrive course, and you're going to experience that in our group coaching sessions. So one of the reasons why I wanted to give you that course, which actually I've been selling as a standalone for $14.97, and you're going to get that free, is because I didn't want to take our valuable one-on-one group coaching time to reinvent the wheel and teach you something that I can teach once and you can press play in your convenience, in your home, in your jammies, any time of the day or night. I wanted to honor your time and respect and value you and your time when we sit together in our weekly group coaching sessions. So that's why it was really important to me to just say, you know what, most people, when they're charging what I'm charging for this group coaching program, they don't gift you a course that's worth $14.97. But I was like, you know what? I really want to do this because I want you to be able to have a resource of unlimited lifetime access that you can keep diving back to. And I didn't want you to feel pressured. I wanted you to feel that you could pick a module that was resonating with you at any time in your journey, because we're all at different stages. And you can pick that module if you're like, you know what? Yes, I need to go back and look at my web navigation, and I need to go back and look at my copy. Does it speak to my target audience? Maybe you need to go back even more and go, who is my target audience? I got a module there for you about how to define your niche, how to define your ideal client, how to really get granular. Because remember, we talked about we cannot sell if we don't truly understand. So all of that is in there for you. The price that I have right now on the 12-week group coaching program is $39.97. And then I have a payment plan, which is I think $14.33 per month for 3 months. So there's 2 opportunities for you to take a look at that. I'm actually going to drop the link in for you so you can take a look at all of the information here. So Thrive Tribe. And then you can kind of take a peek while I'm talking. How does that sound? Let's see. There's the link. So it's caseyrossi.com/thrive-tribe. And you can take a look at that because that has all of the details of the program. It has the payment plan that's in there. It has some of the things that we're going to be talking about. It has some testimonials from people that have worked with me or have been in my previous iteration of Thrive Tribe, which didn't have any mindset in it. So this is actually a new and improved group coaching program that literally I have taken from the last time that I shared this, which was April 2019. I've taken everything that I have learned, and I have been through my own high-end coaching programs. I have been through a massive mindset certification program where I got certified in NLP and timeline therapy. And so all of this new information has been crafted and put together in a really powerful 3-month coaching opportunity. So next year when I offer it, it will definitely be $49.97. So this will be the lowest that this will be. And then also, and I really want to really honor you for being here for this challenge and for showing up. So for those of you that actually enroll before October 28th, you will also get 1 hour of a Kickstart one-on-one coaching session with me. So that's not something that I usually offer. And when I do, that alone is $297 just for the hour. So you're going to get that bonus if you enroll in Thrive Tribe before the 28th. The cart actually closes, so enrollment will close on the 30th because I want to be able to kind of kick it off and be ready and have time for those one-on-one coaching calls before we start together as a group on Monday, November 9th. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to address that. That's really everything that I wanted to share with you today because as you've seen, these are building blocks and there's layers. And you are going to get a tremendous amount of everything that we shared this week in the challenge. And you may be awesome with just that. But if you're feeling in your heart that you want more, that you know that you're meant for more, that you know that you want 2021 to look different than 2020, then now truly is your time to jump on board and join Thrive Tribe with me and the other light workers that are going to be joining. So I am so excited. I can't wait. I'm really even so looking forward to actually being on Zoom because this challenge was held in a live format, but it's just me looking at the camera. And so I have to kind of imagine all of you that are showing up live. I have to imagine you. I have to really put my visualization hat on to see you. And the cool part of Thrive Tribe is we are actually going to be able to see one another. So I'm really, really looking forward to that format because that's what builds connection and that's what builds community. And I cannot wait to see the round of amazing women that choose to join Thrive Tribe. If you have any questions, if you're thinking, you know what, I'm not sure if this is right for me, reach out to me. You can DM me. You can DM me on Facebook. You can DM me on Instagram at my.coach.casey, or you can just email me at casey@kcrossi.com. And I'm happy to jump on a call with you and talk about if this is the right move for you. So I'm really looking forward to it. Sharon, we are all here. I know you are. And I get to visualize all of your shining bright faces. So the cool part with Thrive Tribe is it's like that tic-tac-toe board on Zoom where we literally get to see one another and I get to see your facial expressions and your twinkle in your eye and all that good stuff. So I can't wait to have that format and to be together in a 3-month time frame is an opportunity to really build momentum. And there is a collective momentum when you're actually with peers that have very similar intentions to optimize and scale with that mindset of increased impact and increased income, right? Because like I said in the beginning, it is 100% possible to be spiritual and profitable at the same time. I'm going to show you how to do that, my friends. I hope that you join me. The link to Thrive Tribe is in the notes. So have a look. Reach out to me if you have any questions, and I cannot wait to continue this journey with you. I very much enjoyed sharing these days of the challenge. I can't wait to take it to the next level with you in Thrive Tribe. So until then, my friends, breathe joy, and I will talk to you soon.